Hey kids, it's Mark Miller here. How's everybody doing? Rory, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, my friend. And yourself?
I'm all right. Just made a small minor adjustment to my green screen. After you left, we got some stuff done yesterday.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we did a little bit of awesome. And I was just doing a little bit of work here this morning. I just realized I've not checked in my code. Maybe let's go through and do that. Let's go review the code and check in, and we'll kind of take a look at what's going on there. Switch over to this view here. Just going through looking at some of the changes that I've made over here. I added a suppressing fanfare Boolean out here, and I don't think I am actually setting this to anything yet if we look through the code. I think I just set it to true once when we were stepping through the code because we were kind of restarting and starting, and we might be doing the same thing again today. So I might turn that into a full featured command. Let's just, I did add a command to it. Yeah, it's called suppress fanfare. So I've got that. Announcer guy, fanfare CSV. We added C# Fritz's fanfare. So that'll be checked in today. So he's got a 20-second long fanfare there. That's his. Got some good feedback on that, by the way. You were here for that, right?
I was here for that. That was very nice.
Yeah, he liked that. I renamed set player data to initialize player data because it's kind of a one-time thing, and I had another one called player data changed, and so I wanted to at least start making this clearer. What else is going on here? Announce wild magic result. So when I do a wild magic roll, basically there's some audio that plays. Here I can show you what's going on with that, so you can see that. Let's bring the die roller up here. So we're moving in a direction of more and more automated play-by-play is what we're doing.
Good.
Yeah,
this is exactly what we want.
It's good. So here we go. Let's do this. Let's switch over to my character. My character's got the wild magic roll. Here comes the roll. You're actually seeing two of these here. And looks like I got a breakpoint there. Let's just run it.
20 feet, bonus action.
So 43. So there's basically
your height changes.
So you're hearing actually two different things on two different places here. Let me mute this since we're running it on the live stream here, so you can get a sense of what's happening. So that's an example of it right there. We'll roll it again, and whatever you get, it's going to announce what that is.
Cast fog cloud centered on yourself.
Cast fog cloud centered on yourself. So we don't have to go look it up. The game moves a little faster. So that's what's going on.
Nice.
That's what's going on there. Hold on. Yeah, one of the things that I like about this, like when you saw the height change, it rolled a bonus. There was a bonus roll on it. I like that we built into the engine, and it's kind of like we built in. It's kind of not well built in. It's not we didn't do a great job of this because we didn't really anticipate it to begin with.
Sure.
So we kind of tacked on some special rules, and I kind of, it's a candidate for refactoring in the future, where I want to basically have this, I have the engine be able to chain rolls one after the other, because there are several cases where that is happening, that needs to happen. It just occurred to me. Hey, Copper Beardy's out there. Copper Beardy, by the way, momentum has started with regards to your fanfare. You are getting one, and we are heading in the Copper Beard Flower direction.
Hugo is in the house.
With a kaboom. Hugo, so glad to see you. You were not here with us yesterday, I think. I think we missed you yesterday, buddy.
Hugo.
I'm just popping out. Sorry, I'm looking off to the left. I'm going to pop out my chat over here to the right. So glad everyone is here with us today. So had some Sev 1.
He's in the house.
Will Bennett says his computer wind dumped him because their first date together wasn't UTC. Heard it was a Y2K problem, buddy. Something about not respecting her cross-platform needs. Whatever. Please welcome Bachelor number 00:00:01. It's Will Bennett. Thank you.
Welcome, Will.
Yeah, Hugo, you're missed, buddy. Well, you're out of everybody. By the way, I don't know. I seem to have attracted a crowd of, wild and crazy folks. And Hugo, you are like the calm one among the group. You're the sensible one, the one that grounds us, the one that says maybe we shouldn't, do bungee jumping from the balloon, the hot air balloon. So who's Bachelor number 0? Because we do zero-based stuff here. So
Good call.
Good call. All right. So that's what's going on there. I added that change right there. What else? Anything else in here? I fixed a Vantage kind of bug there as well. Advantage or disadvantage not being honored. So that's there. Added headshot index. I think you were there for that, Rory. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
That was just to get the headshots of the characters up there correctly. Actually, I did that over the weekend now that I think about it. Okay, we had different blood gushes before, and I actually want to work on this in a future episode. Maybe not this one, but if not this one, probably tomorrow. But I had a whole bunch of different blood effects, splatter effects, and I really didn't like about 5 of them. And so I'm going to redo the blood so that it looks more liquidy and more flowing.
Okay.
And also, it occurred to me, one of the things that Dungeons & Dragons also has are conditions. So you might be grappled, for example, right? And it occurred to me that with a little bit of effort, not a whole lot of effort, we can create video effects that appear to circle the player. In other words, go behind me and then come back in front of me. So we can have swirling effects and things like that look like they're actually wrapping around me. We can do that with the
Tweety birds on a sort of stars and suns and moons rotating.
Right. Well, we actually had that Tweety bird effect that we built in. I think I can actually trigger it here. Let me see if I can trigger that Tweety bird, the one we have. Let's go to maybe I can trigger it in effects here. Let's see. Let's do add a new effect. Let's call it Tweety bird. Like that. And that's going to be an animation, and it's stars right there. And I don't know, let's see if this works. Does it work? There it is right there. Okay, so it says over the active player. Am I the active player? I may not be. We may not have. Let me see. Switch me to active player. Try one more time to test effect. Now, the problem is when I test this is not going away. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's kind of not quite right over me. But what's happening here is this is in front of me. Right?
That's right. So you're suggesting the idea of having it both in front and behind as it rotates around you.
Right. So as long as I'm not on the edge right here, where it would be looking kind of, would that work? Yeah, I guess that would work. It would look like it's coming out of my head is what it would look like. As long as I'm not at the edge, it'll look like it's surrounding me. So that's kind of something that I want to work on right there. That's the Dragon Front overlay, I think. Let's turn it off and turn it back on to get rid of that effect. So that's the kind of thing I'm thinking about for conditions, so that we can illustrate conditions. Like right now, I've already had stuff that I set up. Like here, I can do it one more time. Here, let's look at this fumes here. So fumes is another condition that I wanted to show. And there's fumes. Oops, showing up way over there. Because I reset and I didn't send the new data over. Let's do it again here. All right, and then go back over to the effects. Send that test effect out. There, you can see it's in front of me, but it's not in front of the. It's not drawn in front of the nameplate right there, so it needs to be kind of bigger, probably, and that sort of thing. But it's also not behind me. And I was thinking, how cool would it be if behind my shoulders there was like smoke and stuff coming up? So that's kind of where that's kind of it's not too hard to make these changes. The engine will totally support it. It's really just a matter of creating the assets for it. To do it, and I think it'll look cool, add to the immersion. In fact, when we do the blood effects for taking damage, I intend to at least play with the idea of the visual of them not only coming out from in front, but from behind, like over my shoulder or whatever as well, or behind my head.
Yeah.
So something along those lines. So that's kind of what we're kind of playing with. I did notice some perf issues. When I have a full screen animation and I have more than 2 full screen animations going on at once. So the blood effects are full screen because they're just like shooting up and off to the side. That's how we've got them right now. So they're just like, all over. And if I have 3 of those up, it is, there's some perf issues there. It's the engine just goes too slow and the blood comes out slower. So I want to make sure that I'm efficient with the blood, and I never use more than 2 of those at once. Now the thing is I could couple up. I could make on some of these blood effects. I could make blood effects just grosser, more of them, instead of individually saying, okay, I want this one and that one and this one all at once. Do you understand what I'm saying? So right now I've got, that's kind of how I've got it. But what I think it makes sense to do is make some over-the-top ones because I don't have any perf issues. I will have a perf issue.
When there's too many videos.
Yes.
But you can have one video with many, many, many effects in it, and you only get the single hit.
Right, exactly. That's kind of what I'm looking at right there. I'm a little bit worried about what happens when everybody takes damage, right? Because then I think we're going to see a slowdown, and I'm not sure how to solve that. I think we need to give that some thought. So I don't have a great solution to there. But I changed this to basically blood gush A, B, and C. And so there's 3 different kinds, and I tried different combos of them. In fact, we can actually see them right here. I think I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to send the player data over, and then we'll go to the effects and change this to blood. And these now, I didn't change these yet, but this is A, B, and C now. So if I test this effect, there's that one. Wait, let's choose me as the active player, so it comes over me. There's that one right there.
Yep.
Here's effect 2.
That is indeed larger.
Well, it's and here's effect 3. So they're just different shapes. And the other thing I added that I didn't tell you about, I did this over the weekend, is I added a random left or right horizontal flip. So here you can see I'm doing the same effect, and it's just flipping it sometimes, just to add to that. So it looks like I've got a serious problem here. But yeah, so that's it. So there's that effect right there. There's that one back and forth. And then there's this one. And I can combine them together. But like I say, 2 of these at once is at my limit. So if everybody takes damage on this, and it's a large amount of damage, I'm going to have to figure out how to do that without slowing things down, right? Which could happen. But I love this effect, by the way. It's like, Mark, are you okay? And it's a family show, so that's my grape jam is what's happening there. I've got grape jam. Okay, so let's clear out that one more time so we get a little bit clearer screen. This is Fred. Fred is one of the characters on the game. He will join us live there. Hugo's testing some blood from our particle engine from the past that we've created. Okay, so I worked on the blood. I did that over the weekend as well. I haven't checked it in yet, so I'm checking that in now. There's the flip horizontally. I added code to flip vertically, but we're not setting it anywhere. There's nowhere in my flipping code vertically. We'll see where it's added. It's in part, I think. We'll see it when we get down there. Let's look at sprite effect next. What's going on here? This was needed to accommodate the flipping of the horizontal right there. So that's a parameter that was passed in from outside. So remember, we've got this low-level part. We're going to come down to that in a second. And we've got this higher-level sprite proxy and a sprites class that holds a bunch of sprite proxies. And sprite proxies just show where they are on screen, but they don't have any image data. And the part's got the image data. So we're essentially doing a flywheel design pattern there to decouple the 2 from each other. So let's see what we're doing over here. Here's the rename to initialize player data right there. That's all we're seeing there, just to clarify that. I've not done it out on the Signal R side yet. Need to do that as part of cleanup. What do we got here? This is the horizontal flip right here. You okay there, Fred? Looking a bit blue in the gills. He had a late night. Thought he was trying out for Blue Man Group. Isn't he awesome? I love Fred. Fred's a real character. I won Fred from the deck of many things, which is an incredibly dangerous deck to draw from. I drew from it 6 times and only got 1 bad thing. It was pretty crazy. We should have. I really felt afterwards like, oh man, we should have done this live. That would have been so much fun for people to see that. Here, let's hide the scroll here. Do that. Okay. So there's that. The cool thing I was going to say about this, the key to making this work, right? At first it didn't work, and I was like, why isn't it working? nothing was happening. And then I realized, okay, well, the part of the problem is I have to first check, hey, look, if we're going to rotate, right, at all,
Yeah.
before I was just checking to see if we're rotating, then we do this. But now, if we're rotating or if we're flipping at all, I need to save the context and I need to mark that I need to restore it. So I have this first check up here at the top that does that. Then we continue on. If we're rotating, blah, 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 we go ahead and do it. We translate, we rotate, we translate back. Okay? Then if we're going to flip, check it out. We translate to the center, we flip it. There's our scale. We're scaling by this, which means we could theoretically have a scaling number here and multiply it by these.
Yeah, grow and shrink.
And it would grow and shrink around that.
Shrinking potion.
Holy cow, I think you're right. We are not far away mathematically from being able to scale these images.
Mini mark. You could literally conjure a mini mark beside you.
Well, what's cool about that is for the blood effects, which are fast, we could do those at half res and then scale them up, double.
That's true.
To go. That could be a way that we could do that. And that, I bet, well, I don't know, I bet. There's a chance that could solve the perf issue.
That's worth an experiment.
It is. It's not hard to do. So that's where we are. So this is the part that took a while to wrap our heads around here. If we want to rotate or we want to scale, and we've got a center point, we got to translate to the center point, do the action, translate back. That's what we have to do. We're doing that in both of these cases. That was the key. And then later on, if need to restore context is true, later on down in the code, we're going to restore that context. We'll call context.restore. So that was the killer stuff for the graphics engine that we had that I did over the weekend there for the blood. I also added this for random. So I've got a call to random.chance%. So I can just pass in like 50 here. And if 50% chance, it'll come back true 50% of the time. So whatever I put in there, if I say 20, basically say if random max of whatever is less than or equal to the 20.
That's nice syntactic sugar, so you don't have to worry about the mechanism of I want this % chance. You just express it.
And it's easier to read random.chance% than it is to what's going on. Random chance of whatever is less than 20. What's happening? It's way easier. So I added that, and I felt that was a Will Bennett
Easier
moment.
to read and write.
Yeah, and I'll say that again, just so everybody hears that. That was a Will Bennett moment where I had crappy code, and I thought, oh, here's how I could make it better and more concise.
Cool.
And just to be clear on that, Will Bennett's the one that makes it better. He's not the one that's writing the crappy code. It's someone else on this show, and it's not Rory. I'm not going to point any fingers at who that is. What's going on here? Yeah, here we go. Flip. We're just passing in flipping horizontally and vertically. I've not even tested flip vertically yet, but I trust that it'll work. So we can ship. Is that the same as a senior moment? No, it's not. Those are different moments. Live show data. This is just we refactored these over there. This, by the way, this prime 1. This is how internally Visual Studio names this class. So if I say extract to file, it's going to name it the same name, and I'm like, all right, I'm okay with that. The prime 1 right there. That prime 1, the 1 means how many types are passed to it, I believe. So if this had 2 types right there, it would be a prime 2. So that's what's happening there with the naming. I'm okay with it. It's a legal name. We're compiling. Everything's okay. So these are just for the Twitch data. That's it right there. So let's see. Worked on blood effects and I don't know, something else. Rory, were we actually sending emails when you left?
We sent very simple emails at the start, and then the emails contained, I think finally, you got one with the URL fully in it.
Yes.
Because we'd managed to just about extract that information from the API.
Okay, cool. Horizontal and vertical flips. Yeah, I think that scaling is we're dangerously close to solving that problem. So let's stage all those right there. Let's commit everything. And we're on episode 148. And let's push that tag out there too. So that's out there, ep 148-begin. And push it immediately. There we go. So that's the starting code for today. Those moments just happen to overlap a lot. Yeah, that's right, Hugo. Those senior moments and the Will Bennett moments. Fred should shoot an arrow at Mark every time a chat comes in. So that's super interesting, Will. So kind of yes. I'm like, well, here's what I want to do with Fred. Because Fred is already, he's kind of lifelike, right? Here's Fred again, right? Mm-hmm. But notice his hands are not in frame. So Fred is a looping video. That's how Fred is made, right? He's a looping video. He's moving slowly enough that you have to watch for a while before you realize, oh, it's a loop, that sort of thing, because he's boring, right? But I was thinking, oh, you know what I could do? I could green screen, shoot like my hands, dress them up like lizards, right? And just coming up and doing something like this, right? Or just like, scratching, like this.
Yeah.
Or, taking his weapon and going like bonk, 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 and then dropping it back down. And have that to make it even look more random. And
so you could have a series of random videos, in fact. You could have one for each of those actions and then just spontaneously decide to play a random one over the top of that.
I want them to be animations. I want them to be using our animation engine, because that's real easy, and we can push that thing to the limit, it seems, right? It's like, with the exception of full screen animations, small animations like this, we can have thousands of those going on at once. We've done that before. So I want to combine them, because we can get high res, we can get animations that look like their video, right? We've got a whole, mechanism and process for delivering that. I want him to even come over and, like go like that. I don't know if that makes sense in the D&D world like that, but maybe like a, pointing over. And the only thing is the arrow. I can't have him reach up and grab those arrows and suddenly arm himself with those. Those are just static pictures that I have behind that I've kind of animated a bit to make them look like they're actually 3D. I even, modified the lighting on them to make them look like the lighting's consistent, like it's coming from behind. However, we could have another thing where he tosses a weapon across, or he does like, he points his finger and maybe a spell shoots out across the screen. Right? These are things that we could do. And I think, once we get all the other stuff, making Fred look a little more alive is something I think we might play with, because also not hard to do. The other thing I like about Fred right now, by the way, is Fred is equal to us, on the same level as us in terms of being a player, which means if we want to have effects behind him, easy to do. Notice the coins are behind Fred, right? Yep. But, and I think the scroll is going to be behind Fred as well. Is there something I can demonstrate in front of Fred? Oh, the name tags. Yeah, the name tags are in front of Fred though. And someone just dropped a. There you go.
The meteors are also behind him. I think that's the entire drone game is effectively behind him.
So there you go. There you see there's that's in front, and also the we did this before with the let's do active player. Let's switch over to Fred. There's Fred test the blood effect. There, you can see it's in front of him. See? So, yeah, these are full screen animations. Yeah. So we can do, full high-res videos, popping out from anyone here, front and back, and have them in sync, I think. That's the only question is, will they be in sync? If I send the signal R command to both front and back layers, will they be in sync? And I think from the standpoint of a human's ability to perceive, I think absolutely they would be in sync. Yeah, Fred, Cap, your jelly. Also, by the way, if Fred wants to bleed in blue, there he is right there, right? Not hard to do that, right? In fact, I'm going to add that as a property to the character blood color. And it's going to just be a 0 to 360 hue shift. So most people will just have a 0, which means it's coming out in red, and everybody else will everybody else who's got a special color shift will do that. Isn't that sweet and fun?
That is good.
It's like I could do this all day. Okay, but I'm not going to. Let's get some work done. So yesterday, Rory, we figured out almost all of the zipping, but we had a problem with one of the files. It was locked and it wouldn't let us zip it.
So this is the accumulation of your logs and so forth, so that you can attach them to the email when we mark the time, giving all the context that's potentially useful.
Yes, exactly. And so let's test that right now and let's see what happens. I have restarted my machine. There's a chance this could work. The thing that was crazy, though, about yesterday is the file that was erroring out every time, that file that was locked, I could just drag it into the zip file manually from Explorer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, what is going on with that? I did not, I don't know what was going on there. Well, then it says hide the scroll. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's actually make it so you guys can do that. How awesome would that be? That's not hard to do. It'd be test hide is what we would do, or test hide scroll is what we would add in here. We are in the Dragon Back game. right here, and it's going to be in its, got some sort of execute, I think, or test command in here. Let's see what we can find. Test. Do I have a lot of tests in here? Yeah, I got a bunch of tests. Test command. Do I have anything like that? I've got execute. I think it's close to execute. Command. There we go. All right, so I'm looking inside, dragging back game right there. So close to this should be my test. Here we go. So now if we say, well, we do have a test close, but that's not the same as the hide, I think. Right? Isn't there a hide? No. Do we already really have it? Maybe we already have it. Let's open it up again. Okay. Oh, look at this.
That did not work.
I know. Oh, it's because the data, I think, has not been sent out. That was a test closed. Test closed worked. Okay, so the answer is yes, you guys have it. It doesn't, it has a problem if I haven't initialized the player data. That's what's going on. So
okay.
I'll like turn it off and turn it back on and do the same with the, yeah. All right, so let's switch back up over here. There we go. Okay, so we've got a test closed. So that'll hide that in the future if you need to do that. Let's go to the Mr. Announcer Bot CS right over here. Here's I made a few minor changes here. I added some additional parameters here. I know, Will's probably like, geez, Mark, you got a lot of parameters. Why don't you just create an object, which I might do, but right now I haven't done that yet. But I've just added some additional parameters, different people here. So PRZ, this guy is key in debug visualizer and duplicate line and duplicate selection. So issues that hit those, I'm going to make sure I'm going to send to him. Alex, one of our lead devs out there. Perf, this is one of our perf devs out here. So if these parameters are out there and specified, we are going to send email messages to those. So let's do this. Let's set a breakpoint over here. Let's do a Will Bennett is like Jiminy Cricket on Mark's shoulder. I would agree with that. Hugh says execute Fred. Nice. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to send an issue out. We're going to call this test issue, like this, and let's see if we get to the breakpoint. Okay, we are somewhere at a breakpoint. I don't see where. Oh, here we are. They're right there. We got an exception. Oh no, the log file exception. It can't. It's the most recent log, the most important log. It cannot access.
Is it possible you've got a virus checker that's just looking at stuff that's recently been edited?
No, stop. I doubt it. Don't say that, Rory.
No?
No. Oh, geez, I can't edit because the edit and continue. Jesus, come on. All right, so let's do this. F10, get out, and now I want to add another /n here, like that. Hack copy files to a temp directory and zip from there.
Yeah? Seems crazy that you could copy, but
I like that. I like that.
But hey, it's worth a try.
I like that. Yeah, isn't it? It's like, well, I don't have any control on what's going on in zip create entry from file. So now we're down in here. I'm going to hit run. Now we're here. I just want to step through and make sure everything is set. So in the command, you'll notice I said, if you're in the chat room, I said -log, -all devs, -alex, -prz, -perf. So I'm expecting everybody to be listed on here, all these to be true as we come in here. So there it is. We're going to add his email, that email all devs. So that is kind of the test I wanted to make. I don't think I'm going to send it. I'm going to kind of skip out of here because, I don't want to, start spamming these guys in my tests here. So let's kind of jump out over to here and we'll get out like that and we'll just run. Okay, so nothing is going to be sent that time. Yeah, okay, let's copy the files to a folder. Let's look at that and see if that works. My theory on this, Rory, it's a crazy theory, by the way. My theory is that because I was able to, well, I don't know, I've got two theories. I don't even want to, I'm so uninformed in this area, I don't even want to I don't even want to go there. Copy files to folder, C#, because guess what? Mark is too lazy to figure this out using IntelliSense. what do we got here? Simple file copy. There's my directory. And then I could zip the folder. And then I could delete the folder.
This is potentially quite useful anyway, because as time goes on, maybe you want to get things that are in different physical locations anyway. So to assemble them in one place and then zip that folder is maybe quite useful.
Yeah, I think so. Path.get temp file name. Get temp file path. I don't think I want to change. I don't want to generate any temp file names is what I want to do, but I do want to create a directory. All right, so let's do it. It looks like we can hack through it with IntelliSense. So let's do that. So we're going to set a breakpoint. So there's my enumerate files. That's going to be my first sense. I'm going to set a breakpoint right here, and we'll do this right there. So let's try again. Let's send out the command. And call it test, copy folders, and I want to just send it only to me. So there's the issue right there. All right, so now we want something like this. Oh wait, am I going to have a problem with edit and continue? Is edit and continue going to give me a hard time or no? Looks like it's going to be happy. Okay, so I want to do a couple things. I want to create a new directory here. So let's say directory.create directory. And can the path be relative? I think it can. I think I can do this, and then I think it's going to be the zip file name without the .zip at the end. What's going on here? Are you unhappy now because I renamed that? What's going on here with you? I think this is an edit and continue problem. Is what I think it is. I want to get rid of that. And then I want to say that right like there, I think. Full path to zip file. Okay, now we've got the base zip file name. And now I want to create the directory that, like there. Oh, I know what the problem is with the IEnumerable. It's because I didn't have a semicolon at the end over there. Okay, that might be, we might actually be okay and happy with that. Didn't continue. Let's see. Okay, what about this? All right, fine. Okay, so there, base zip file name is that. What do we get here? Oh, yeah. This problem happened yesterday.
File already exists.
That's because I stepped through and then did it a second time.
Okay.
But there's a bigger problem that's occurring here, Rory, and it's that the edit and continue isn't keeping up with the changes. It seems.
No, it's not happy.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. I'm going to just run it. I'm going to not email the issue. I'm going to come down over here and run there. I'm going to try coming in one more time and see if edit and continue is, yeah, as I recall, yeah, see, look, when I select this, the breakpoint here, it's like, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, This was one of the things we struggled with yesterday. Assembling to one location and zipping wouldn't really be beneficial unless you want a copy of all those uncompressed as well. Zip opens a stream and reads it to the archive. Copying it first would just add another step, a copy before the copy, but as a workaround for the locked issue, it might make sense. Yeah, that's kind of what we're approaching. We're thinking that the copy might be less invasive than the create entry from file. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's.
The only thing I can imagine that's even trying to do is to maybe set an archive bit on the original file, which again is a little strange, but for legacy reasons, it's sort of for figuring out, yes, this has been backed up. It's the only form of writing that I can imagine you're doing.
That's brilliant.
The act of zipping something.
That's brilliant. I bet that's exactly what's happening. That might be it. All right, let's see if that's the case. So if that's the case, this is great. We're having problems with stepping through code and edit and continue, which is like killing me. How does CodeRush open the logs to write? That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that. My assumption is when it was time to write, we would open it and then write it, and then we would be done. But it could be, it seems like maybe it's like open the whole time. If it just doesn't open it with the shared mode, yeah, this may be something that we can change as well. I'll need to ask the devs about that and take a look at that. But I'm pretty sure it's shared mode because I can click and drag it into a zip folder while Visual Studio is running. I don't get the lock problem there. I think Rory's absolutely right, and that this copy is going to fix this. So here we're going to say, well, we got to get to a breakpoint first. Is it going to run the new code? I think it runs it. It just can't step through it. That's the problem, and I don't understand it. It seems like it's new. It's a new problem, and I don't get that. Let's try sending over the command again, CR issue. Let's do that. There it is, and let's come down in here, and we're going to say, so we've got this directory that we've created. Does create directory return anything at all? It returns the directory info. Let's look at our sample code. What are we doing here? They're not getting it back. They're just using the dest file is equal, they're doing path combined on the target path right there. Also, by the way, let's go into CodeRush support. Let's go out to our logs. See what we got here. We have no directories created. We have nothing created yet, but I think that we had problems the last time, so I think we were okay. Let me delete these two. And let's step through. Wait. I have almost a better idea, I think, on this. I just did create directory. Create directory does not look like it worked. There's what I'm looking at. Let's refresh, hitting F5. It does not look like the create directory worked. So, and is that because, is the code executing or not? Hard to tell because it's like, it thinks it's on the for each right here. I'm not sure what's going on with edit and continue. Can you look this up, Rory, see if you can find any weird things about edit and continue, not getting my changes? I'm certainly not getting any complaints about it. Let's see if I can do a quick watch on that. No, it does not exist. Yeah, edit and continue is not taking my changes. That's my problem. All right, so here's my idea though. Let's kind of, I don't know, while we're here, my idea is something along these lines. If we get an exception, only on the exception, because we're really only getting it on the one, right? This is a very specific known problem. So what I'm thinking I want to do at this point, this is the file I want to log. I want to create a copy of this, and I want to do something like this. I want to say, was it file dot copy, and I want the source file name, and the dest file name is going to be path dot get absolute path for the specified string. Is that the same thing as path? The root directory information. I think it's get full path is what I want. That's not the file name. That's what I believe. Of the file plus most recent plus path.get file name, like that, of the file. That's what I want to do. And I actually want to do something like this. I want to come in here and I want to say this is going to be dest file name is that, and then I want to try and zip that one instead. So I just want to make a copy of that, and if that works, like that. Did I like copy this twice? That's weird. Why do I have that down there again? That's weird. Okay, and if that works, then I want to delete that. Then I want to go in and say file dot delete dest file name.
Yeah.
So and then if this all fails, select all that, hit the letter C. Then I want to come in and I want to add the error like that. And then I think up here, I don't really care what this error is kind of what I'm thinking now. Or maybe we'll call this EX1 and this one EX2. Okay, like that, and then that's EX2. So this is kind of what I'm thinking I want to do, is I just want to fix it like that. I don't want to create a directory in here. I want to go to this is what I want to go to, like that. So I'm going to hit run on this, but I'm pretty sure, I think our edit and continue is hosed. And I think that what...
Will Bennett says get full path does include the file name.
Oh, son of a nutcracker.
Now, if you're looking for the file name without the extension, there was a method on path for that.
I need to change this right here. That's the line of code I need to change.
You've also got a... Oh, sorry, that's full path. Yes, that's the one. So I think this get file name, but it's a horribly lengthy named method.
Rory, look at this. Edit and continue. When I'm setting breakpoints, they know the length of the lines now. I think that edit and continue might be back and working again. Let me try it.
Self-healing system has finally engaged.
Let's see if that's the case. Let's try it. Run it. Drone may not be working because we were at a breakpoint. Continue. Okay, it looks like we're back in here again. So there's our exception. EX1 is, can't seem to hover over it. Can I quick watch it? Unable to evaluate. Yeah, it's not liking something about this. So that means, so dest file name, can we get dest file name? Quick watch that. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. I bet if we restarted, it would get all of these things. So not get file path is not what we want. We don't want get full path. What do we want? Well, I just want the leading folder only. Get directory.
Apparently get directory name is being suggested.
All right, let's try that instead. And actually, we should probably use path.combine for this to get these two together. Path.combine, directory, and that, like that. That's what the line of code should be. Visual Studio doesn't like me modifying the catch block. So let's undo all of that, just cut it to the clipboard. And I think are we okay? We're okay. Step out, step out. Looks like I got another exception on the copy. I'm just going to hit run, run. Set the breakpoint here one more time. Oh yeah. That doesn't look good. We got exceptions on all kinds of things. All kinds of files we got exceptions on. Looks like my naming.
Didn't end up deleting them either.
Yeah. Why is that? That's weird. All right, so let's delete all those. Let's delete these two, like that. Okay, skip that one. I don't know why. Yeah, this is the problem with debugging while we're stepping through this, is that sometimes these locks persist. Okay, let's try one more time out here. Sending that out. We're here. I'm in this. Jesus. I want to set my breakpoint there. Get out. Change the line of code to that, like this. And no, it won't let me because I'm not out of it yet, maybe.
You're out of one, but maybe not the second.
Now try it. I bet it works now. Okay, that seemed to work. Okay, so run. Let's skip down to the end. We're not going to email this one. Skip there. Run. Yeah, this doesn't look good down here, though. Look at this. This has got it doesn't have the... Turn it off, turn it on. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. I don't think it's a self-healing system. I think we're looking at starting at hit link bad, cough. Oh my God. Fine. Link Linkpad. Where is it? Do I really not have it installed? I thought I had it installed. It's not on my machine. I want to say, Rory, download it for me while I do this, but you know.
Yeah, there's a small problem with that.
You could kind of do it for me.
I'd download it, install it, copy the binaries, stick them in an email to you.
No, stick it in Skype to me. You could do that.
Oh, that's true.
Sigh. Yeah, it's only got 2.3 million downloads. I really am, you know, I'm waiting for.
Iffy product.
Yeah, doesn't sounds like sketchy to me.
Yeah.
Sketchy. All right, that's downloading. Okay, so back up over here. Roy, write this code for me and take over the stream while I make Fred bleed all day. Nice, Hugo.
Images of Mark in some kind of torture chamber with Fred.
That's awesome. Yeah, Fred is actually absolutely my favorite now. If you don't have a license for Linkpad, you'll get autocomplete. You won't get autocomplete, however. Okay. Oops, there's my, do you want to allow changes? I just said yes. I think the stream probably went blank for a second. I don't know if it did or not. Installing it. Associates link files with Linkpad. Create a desktop shortcut. No thanks. Add LP run exe to the path. What's this? Command line support. I'm going to say probably not for now. And let's install. System IO compression opens a file stream with read access to the files with file share read, so the process can open it for reading as well. It doesn't set an archive bit. What the heck is going on?
Something's got it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out because it does not make sense.
There's got to be some other product somewhere that is just not playing nice in the sandbox.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. How is it that CodeRush has it for writing? So it appears as if it's being held open. Might be CodeRush holding it open without a file share permission set. But if that was the case, how is it possible that I'm able to drag it in? Right? Let's do it again. Let's run the piece again.
That's true.
Let's ask these questions and let's look at it. Let's get the file names and all of that stuff. So one more time. I think this is actually not. I'm not confident that this code is actually working. I think I'm gonna have to restart it, but let's see what happens here. Because I can't do quick watch on anything in here. Test file name, we're copying it, we're creating an entry. Guess what? It worked.
That was working, yeah.
We got an exception here. We did it as the copy, and we did it, and that worked. Let's set a breakpoint out here and continue to run, see which we hit next. We go right out. It's just the one. Something's going on. Something fishy. I just sent the email. All right, here's what we got. This is the most recent one right here. Open that up. There it is. Most recent. Right there. So we say it can't be happening, but it kind of seems like it's happening. All right, so here we go. The email just came in. What's going on here? No. All right, hold on. Whoops. Here's the email right here. Test copy folders. So that's what we typed in. There's our log. That's the time. Here's the attached log file. It's got the logs on it. And yeah, let's open it up. And there they are.
I got my copy too.
You got your copy too, says Rory.
did.
All right, kids, I think we fixed it. And from my perspective, I think I'm good to go. Let's keep trying it, though. Let's see if we can get back. Let's see what we really are interested in. So I guess the other thing that's cool is that, hey, this edit and continue is working, even if some parts seem out of sync. In other words, the changes are being compiled into the program, but we're not able to get values, which is a little weird. This is the exception where we want to see if we hit or not. Of course, if we hit that, we're going to add an error, and we'll see it in the email. So I'm wondering, is it a possible condition kinds of, didn't delete the most recent, though. Oh, wait, let's check that. It says file.delete. Whoops, not there. Hold on. Let's go into here. It did. It's not here. It's in here as most recent because that's what we copied it as, but that's okay. I don't mind calling this most recent because it'll get everybody's attention on the one, the one that was the locked. I'm basically relying on that's being the case. And if there's any question, if our logic is wrong or anything along those lines, why don't I see date time? Oh, is it because I'm in the zip file? That's why. I see.
Yeah.
But I think the date times are in there too, so they can go in and look at the date times when they unzip them.
Will's pointing out that we're not deleting the file in case of something bad happening as we try and create it.
Right, not deleting the zip file as well. Right, yeah. I want to keep these here, and I'll manually delete these later. So yes, I'm going to collect these. Anytime these exist, that means I send an email out. So that's kind of what's going on there.
I think he was also referring to the most recent file as well.
No, we are deleting that. We are deleting the copy.
But not in the case where the exception happens. If an
that's
exception happens between anywhere in that code, then the delete won't fire.
No, it does. That's when, if the exception happens, that's when we copy and create the most recent. So if an exception happens, we assume it's a lock and we try making a copy of it. Yeah.
So what happens if an exception happens between line 563 and 566?
Oh, in that case, well, then the file's going to be left, and we're going to report the exception in the email.
Fair enough.
This text goes to the email. So you and I will see that. Anybody who gets the email will see that. So that is pretty cool. I think with that, I feel like we are ready to actually start using this in production. So the first time we see this, I'm not grabbing settings files, and I'm not grabbing, I guess the other thing that's kind of interesting, I'm not sure if there's an API for this or not. There probably is. Hold on a second. So this is maybe interesting to me, to being able to figure out a link to the most recent tag.
Yeah.
For the Mr. Announcer bot, and putting that in automatically. Source code is here, that sort of thing. Also, can I do this or not? I can't. I'm also wondering. Well, we got something to start with. We have something to start with. This is something we may add later. The other thing I'm thinking about adding later, since this is my machine and I don't care, I don't have any concerns about sharing this code or anything I'm working with the entire DevExpress team. And what I'm talking about is something that would be problematic for making available to other customers. I think a lot of people, even if it was opt-in, would be like, what? And so we've never done this. But being able to provide the undo stack and the redo stack if it's available as well, so that developers can see everything that happened up to this point. In other words, more diagnostics information. I can share that because I'm on the team. I totally trust them, and there's no secrets I'm working on here that I'm worried about them discovering. And so those I should actually probably say that I'm entrusted to protect rather than worried about them discovering. But I can share a lot more data than an average user can. And so we may add more things as those kinds of things are become interesting. In other words, we may build into CodeRush, my version of CodeRush, the ability to grab diagnostics data, additional diagnostics data that may not be in the log files. For example, stack data or something along those lines. Like, for example, we send a command to CodeRush, and it says, "Oh, sure, let me give you a full-on dump of everything I know right now, like keys that have been hit, all kinds of things." So, Webeta says, "What? You're not going to do QA first? I object. You need to sign off on at least from at least two project managers. QA on what? On this feature? I think he's talking about the feature."
Hey, that's fine, Mark. You're one, I'm two. We're done, right?
We are. Look, I don't know. I feel like this is all the QA you need, my friend. Look, let's click the link. I didn't even click the link. You really want QA? This is it. Here's your moment. We're going to click that link and see if we bring us up back in time. That's about 7 minutes ago. I think I'm going to have to restart it, but let's see what happens here. Because oh, by the way, Rory, I did this. I played, and kept going, and we watched for 14 hours me going in a loop and keep continuing back in its time loop. I can't do quick watch on anything in here. It was awesome. I skirted by the Twitch regulations that say you can't have a stream unattended, and it was just a time loop. We went back and back and back, and it was just an entry. Guess what? This loop became a loop inside itself. You don't believe me? Watch. We come out to the end over here. Let's see if it can still play. You're not going to do QA first? I object. You need to sign off on at least from at least two project managers. Here it comes. On what? On this feature? I think he's talking about the feature.
Hey, that's fine, Mark. You're 1, I'm 2. We're done, right?
It's exciting.
Look, I don't know. It's great stuff.
We are in an actual time loop. This is all the QA. Here it comes. My friend. Here it comes. Click the link. I didn't even. Here's the time loop. Oh, look at that. They're like trying to stop me from getting into a time loop. Isn't that crazy? But anyway, I thought we were about to get into a time loop. Legendary Moose says this is so much fun. Yeah, so let's see. Is it going to play or not? I think it's going to start from the beginning. Yeah. Oh, well. Was that my problem or not? There's some, all right, we're going to we're out of there. All right. Oops, I should mute that, block that, pause that. Fred's on. It's a world. Okay. So if we're done with that feature and we're only like an hour in, I know Rory's like, we did it. I can finally leave, and he's not going to do anything amazing after we go. I'm kind of feeling the move over to the blood effects is kind of what I'm feeling. I don't know, Rory, what are you thinking?
I'm looking at the time. I have special reason to leave tonight. Tonight is my 15th anniversary. My wife has been putting up with me for a very long time, and I need to go and prove that I'm worth it.
Oh, man. I blew it yesterday, by the way. It was my wife's birthday yesterday.
You missed that? That was on my calendar. How did you miss that?
No, I knew it, but I did a 3.5-hour stream yesterday. Right over her lunch, she was waiting for me, and she said she sent some messages in the chat room. I missed them completely. Yeah, so in the category of proving to our spouses, Rory, we are at 0 and 2 right now. You have a chance to make it 1 and 2 if you go out and do the right thing. So go out there and be a great partner, and let your wife know that we are super grateful for the time she, that you share with us, and for whatever she contributes to that by helping us out. We are thankful. Okay?
I'll pass that on to her immediately.
All right.
All right, guys. I will catch you same time tomorrow.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later. I'm not using EX1 on line 550. Yeah, I saw that. I'm not. I was going to delete it, then I thought, let's keep it just in case I want to verify that it's that particular error. And only because right now this is kind of some crappy code, I guess. This is some kind of, cross our fingers code where we're assuming that if we get an exception on the zip, it's this one exception we've been getting all this time. And so we're trying this workaround for it, and not reporting it. So yeah, I'm kind of keeping it in case later I want to make some changes to this area. That's kind of what's going on here. And I also am keeping this here. The other benefit to keeping that is when debugging is working and we're able to bring up the values, we can see what the exception is and then decide what we want to do with it. Okay, yeah, so I'm kind of thinking, let's go look at the blood effects is what I'm thinking about. Let's look at that. Or maybe scaling. Yeah, maybe we'll do this, because that's actually a little bit more fun, and since Roy's gone, let's do some fun stuff. So he's all like, I shouldn't take care of my wife. I shouldn't have been a good partner. And we'll be like, yeah, that's right. You should have loved us more. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Roy. I'm kidding. All right, let's see if we can get some music up here. Can we? Yep, we got some music. I think Surly blocked those messages. What messages Surly block? What messages are we talking about? Legendary Moose trying a CR issue. I don't think you can do a CR issue. I think we've got checks on that only I can do that. I'm the only one right now, and I'll add Rory later. And I think I'll add anybody else who's like a moderator out there. Okay, so let's do this. I think Rory blocked the messages from Sex Positive to make you look bad. and play it up to her. I don't know. I looked bad yesterday. It was not good. It was not good. In fact, it was so bad yesterday that today I announced it today as the, oh, guess what? Sex Positive just walked in. Today I announced it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to end the show because I got some making up to do. Today I announced it as it's a groundhog birthday for Karen. So we're going to go take care of Karen right now. I remember the messages. I did not realize it was your wife. Was it from Sex Positive? What is this? Someone crossed this yesterday. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She's here. I'm in trouble. Thanks, honey. I was just shutting down, honey. I was just about to be like, hey. Now you're super duper in trouble, says Legendary Moo. Karen, yeah, so much trouble. I am so sorry. I want to apologize to you. Record this apology. So everybody, the bird wasn't pecking your eyes out. Unrealistic, says Hugo Doll. Need a whip emote. Whoopsh, whoopsh. No, I'm in trouble. No, Karen is the most amazing woman, person, partner in the world. And if there's any whipping involved, it is absolutely, I take that with pleasure. So talking about using the width of the M to determine the height of fonts. Whoa! Whoa! That's it. That's super cool. I did not know that. I've heard of M's before, but I did not realize this is what it was. Will Bennett, thank you. That is awesome, awesome.
He's awesome.
And of course, I'm talking about
Will Bennett rocks.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, so kids, would have said it yesterday, but I wasn't here for a happy belated birthday to Sex Positive. That's right. So Sex Positive, sorry for missing your messages yesterday. I've got some making up to do, some explaining to do. So today is Sex Positive's Groundhog Day birthday. So I'm going to go take care of that and celebrate her. I'm going to stop, baby, because I love you. We just got some stuff done. I was about to do some fun stuff, but I'm like, oh, yeah, you just walked in. I'm out of here. So let's do that. Let's get you guys some folks to... we'll pass you on to somebody else. Tomorrow we'll work on some fun stuff. We'll have some blood effects, and we'll work some, once you mess up, there's no coming back. Sex Positive. Yes, it's called begging and groveling and saying, I love you so much. That's how I get back. Let's see. Who are we going over to? Who are we following here today? Who's out there right now? Let's send you over to Clark.io. I like that guy. Clark.io. Let's do that. So we're going to raid Clark.io. And we'll send you guys over there. And thank you so much, guys. I know it was a short stream today, but we are going to, tomorrow it's going to be fun. We'll see you all tomorrow. Have fun with Clark.io, with Brian. Tell him I said hi.